So we're still on paper 11, and it is number 9, the uniqueness of paradise. The uniqueness of paradise. I'm not going to ask you how you're feeling.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, who is ready to read?
I can go.
Go, Kim.
Paradise is unique in that it is the realm of primal origin,
Mm,
and the final goal of destiny for all spirit personalities.
wow.
Although it is true that not all of the lower spirit beings of the local universes are immediately destined to paradise, paradise still remains the goal of desire for all supermaterial personalities.
Wow.
Mm. Paradise is the geographic center of infinity. It is not a part of universal creation, not even a real part of the eternal Havona universe.
Mm,
We commonly refer to the central isle as belonging to the divine universe, but it really does not. Paradise is an eternal and exclusive existence.
wow.
Right.
Oh,
In the eternity of the past, when the Universal Father gave infinite personality expression of his spirit self in the being of the eternal Son, simultaneously he revealed the infinity potential of his non-personal self as paradise.
wow.
Non-personal and non-spiritual paradise appears to have been the inevitable repercussion to the Father's will and act, which externalized the original Son.
Oh, it was the original sound. That wasn't the original sin. Just kidding, guys.
Oh,
Bad joke.
oh dear.
The infinity potential of his non-personal self
I know. It's like,
as paradise. Far out.
Mm. Yeah, non-personal and non-spiritual paradise.
for me, every
Ah.
sentence was like, oh my God. Oh,
Thus did the Father project reality in two actual phases, the personal and the non-personal, the spiritual and the non-spiritual. The tension between them in the face of will to action by the Father and the Son gave existence to the conjoint actor and the central universe of material worlds and spiritual beings.
mm,
Can we stop for a minute?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so full already. Oh,
Well, Swedenborg says the same thing in a different way, that we exist because of the equilibrium between, well, he calls it heaven and hell. It's, heaven and the opposite. Yeah.
heaven has no opposite.
Well, no.
It's like
Yeah.
love is, heaven is, and then it's like not, there's no, they don't have that in there.
Well, yeah, well, this is sort of saying that, isn't it? With
Uh-huh,
this
uh-huh.
paradise place is non-personal, non-spiritual. So there's no opposite, is there? There's nothing,
Yeah.
yeah, in that place. It's true, but we're not there yet. I don't know. It's like, ah,
We have glimpses, and that's the most important part, is to dislodge the projection and allow the truth to be
mm,
written upon the empty space.
mm,
Beautiful, huh?
ah,
Mm, beautiful. Got even that start of that para there before. The paradise is a geographic center of infinity. It is not a part of universal creation, not even a real part of the eternal Havona universe. That's crazy, huh?
mm.
Whoa. Ready to go on, guys?
Yes.
Mm, yeah.
Shall I keep going?
Yes, thanks, Kim.
When reality is differentiated into the personal and the non-personal, eternal sun and paradise, it is
Ah,
hardly mm,
yeah.
it is it is hardly proper to call that which is non-personal deity unless somehow qualified. The energy and material repercussions of the acts of deity could hardly be called deity. Deity may cause much that is not deity, and paradise is not deity. Neither is it conscious, as mortal man could ever possibly understand such a term.
Oh my God. Well, um, neither is it conscious as a mortal man could ever, ever possibly understood.
Mm.
Oh my God. There's so many different distinctions of in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Paradise is not ancestral to any being or living entity.
Wow.
It is not a creator.
Far out. Phew.
Personality and mind spirit relationships are transmissible, but pattern is not.
Personality.
Patterns are never reflections, they
Mm.
are duplications, reproductions. Wow. Ah,
Ah,
Paradise is the absolute of patterns. Ivona is an exhibit of these potentials in actuality.
Wow. God, what amazing distinctions. Like, oh.
Patterns are never reflections.
Mm,
I find that interesting because, we've just been talking about in Course of Love about recognizing what is of the old passion.
hmm
Mm,
They're not reflections
mm,
of truth. They're just an old passion.
mm. And
They're duplications of what we've done with our mind.
yeah, the
yeah,
reproductions.
Yeah,
yeah,
reproductions. Yeah.
because if you look at this so-called narcissistic pattern, it's obviously the same in every individual that has that pattern or takes it on or however it happens. But it operates in exactly the same way, isn't it? It's the same type of behavior and the same,
Yeah.
and
It's
the ego pattern's the same. It just does the same shit over and over.
yeah.
And that's what a pattern
I
is, isn't it?
saw this thing online recently, and I was quite taken by it. Just this little snippet. There's a thing coming out called The Eternal Song, and it's about wisdom from indigenous tribes. And
Mm,
but a guy there, he just spoke very briefly about how in our Western view of things, we have focused on the individual in psychology, focused on individual stories instead of looking at the big picture of mankind as a whole,
Mm.
as a singularity. And seeing, yeah, anyway, I was quite taken by that, and this kind of addresses it a
but it's
little
both,
bit.
isn't it? It's like the Course of Love was saying, it's that
Yeah.
singularity, but it's also the variables within it, which are the individual thingies. That's how I see it. Like,
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. The mind just wants to figure it
Yeah.
out. ah, ah, ah. Yeah, I just thought, oh, I don't want to be stuck in an old pattern. Like, I don't want to be a duplicate or a reproduction of something. Like, you know, oh,
Well, you already are, darling. You know, but allow it to be so. Because the minute we goes against something, we again
mm,
split ourselves into those two camps.
mm.
Yeah, well, remember what he said? He said, Jesus, he said, recognition that it's of the old passion is enough.
Hmm
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Shall we go
It's
on?
almost like it's almost like the birth of my new grandson is the start of like a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's the old one up until now. Something, something like that. And I said to his dad when I was leaving last night, oh, it's like this, oh, he's come in and this big new thing's happening. It's like a big new space or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's be
That's,
interesting to see.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So will I keep going or would someone else like to read?
Carry on, Kim.
Okay. God's residence is central and eternal, glorious and ideal. His home is the beauteous pattern for all universe headquarters worlds, and the central universe of his immediate indwelling is the pattern for all universes in their ideals, organization, and ultimate destiny.
Wow. I like the way they describe it. His home is the beauteous
Mm,
pattern.
yeah.
Yeah.
Paradise is the universal headquarters of all personality activities and the source center of all force space and energy manifestations. Everything which has been, now is, or is yet to be, has come, now comes, or will come forth from this central abiding place of the eternal gods. Paradise is the center of all creation, the source of all energies, and the place of primal origin of all personalities.
Mm. Wow. Last para.
After all, to mortals, the most important thing about eternal paradise is the fact that this perfect abode of the universal Father is the real and far distant destiny of the immortal souls of the mortal and material sons of God, the ascending creatures of the evolutionary worlds of time and space. Every God-knowing mortal who has espoused the career of doing the Father's will, has already embarked upon the long, long paradise trail of divinity pursuit and perfection attainment.
Mm.
Oh, wow. And when such an animal origin being does stand, as countless numbers now do, before the gods on paradise, having ascended from the lowly spheres of space, such an achievement represents the reality of a spiritual transformation bordering on the limits of supremacy.
Wow.
Wow.
Supremacy? Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
Oh.
So that was presented by a perfecter of wisdom, commissioned thus to function by the ancients of days on Uversa.
Mm.
Perfecter of wisdom.
I find it incredible. Each of these papers are written by
Different.
an ascended, or by a being, maybe not an ascended
Mm,
being, but by a being who this is their specialty almost. So no
mm.
wonder it's hard. No wonder it's a challenge
Mm.
to really get what they're saying.
Mm.
Perfecter of wisdom.
Yeah, and especially to allow ourselves to assimilate it more on that deep emotional feeling level. There's so much in there that begins to move within us.
Yeah.
Like somewhere we already have a reflection of this because when I read it, something moves inside, moves in the most beautiful way. Like some patterns are reorganizing for them to be, for me to be able to experience them. we were just reading the first paragraph. I said, like, oh my God, I'm already done.
Yeah.
Felt be taken so deep into this um, okay, like an inner revelation that each word begins to be revealed within, in the kingdom within, and translated into being rather than just words on a paper,
Mm.
or translated into experience.
Mm. Yeah.
Exquisite. Oh,
So obviously the journey's, long enough, but it doesn't even start until we've espoused the career of doing the Father's will. You know, like I just wonder what we're not even at the start of anything until we do that. Where are we? We must be in some sort of limbo. Espouse the career of doing the
What's
Father's will.
espoused?
That's like taken on, isn't it? Like
mm.
Mm.
you've joined. Is it another? I'm not sure. I mean, I get a sense of it. I couldn't explain it.
Adopt or support
Uh,
a cause, belief, or a way of life.
yes.
Well, you have, Kim. I mean,
Yeah,
we all have.
yes, we
We all
all
Yeah,
have.
we wouldn't be
yeah,
here reading this even a way.
yeah, I realize that, but like it's taken a long time to get to that point. And
Mm.
what's going on, like prior to that choice, obviously made a choice. But before then, we haven't even started on the journey, and it's
Yeah.
like a long, long, yes, every God knowing mortal.
And even moving from here to the Morontia world, is such a major step, but really it's just the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I feel it's such a relief just to know that at least I've, started and I feel like I'm on the right track. Clearly I wasn't before then. Oh, I guess it's just choosing the right mind, isn't it? Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And clearly narcissists have not. you
Well,
know?
I just had the thought to sort of pop in a couple of minutes ago about your ex. I mean, I don't know if it's relevant or not, but remember Saul of Tarsus was a murderer. He went around killing as many Christians as he possibly could. He thought they
Oh,
were evil bastards, and he
yeah.
just went around killing people. And then he had a revelation. So I mean, you don't know. He had a
Yes.
revelation that changed him forever, and you don't know what someone's personal journey is.
Yeah. You don't know how it
Exactly.
comes.
Exactly. Yeah. But
Mm. I,
like
I actually sort of feel like in labeling someone as a narcissist, and I've done it, but I don't know
yeah,
that it's helpful
it's
because
not
that's a
really
judgment
yeah, it's not
already.
really them. It's like something that's gotten a hold of them in a sense.
It's a
But yeah, like I
pattern
see,
of
and
behavior that's
yeah,
recognizable.
but I can see the pattern, like the possibility he could go completely the opposite way and be like the most loving person, like he's
Yeah,
just it's just the other end of the stick again,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and he's had moments, of course, where he has been like that. It's not been completely terrible, the whole time. It's just interesting that the worst of it seems to have come out now. It's almost like
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, in myself, a letting go of that pattern. That's all that he somehow
Yeah.
represents in me.
Yeah.
But you know what I have to say about that? If you have narcissists in your world, have a good
Yeah,
look.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah. Because
my
when
God.
don't we think of ourselves?
You
Like
know, yeah,
Yeah.
just, I tell you, this is a yummiest thing. Can you allow yourself to be a narcissist? Say yes.
yes,
No. No, I fucking can't.
like if I'm bored of one, then I must be one myself.
Because you know what? That's how they disappear. When you
Yeah.
find them in you and those patterns that are so denied within us that are just narcissistic,
Mm,
you know,
Yeah,
you got to find
that's
it in you. And when you do, the bloody narcissist will stop showing up. No kidding.
mm, mm.
yeah.
Now, until they do, I've got a homework to do.
Yes.
You know, where is this in me? Particularly if I have a like a rejecting attitude that shouldn't be. It's them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's them. Yeah. Completely.
It's not me. Yeah, it's no me here anywhere. You do. I mean, when you own everything, I mean, everything's in us. Everything you know, where is it? It's not
Mm,
out there. It's all in you. All the qualities you know that other people have, they all in you. Some you allow and some you don't. And if you don't allow them, they are there's a part of you that's not alive.
mm.
Because we have this thing of like, you know, positive is good and negative is bad.
But that's like a reflection, right?
Yeah, it's
But
a
then it,
reflection, but when you allow it within yourself,
mm,
it's just heaven. Like even there, as soon as I said that, you start cracking up laughing, going like, "Oh yeah," because you're no longer in resistance.
mm. That's obviously true, but it might not be wholly true. Like it might be just be part of it. It might not be the whole deal. I don't know. Um, when I look at the Urantia book, it's like there's so much
I know.
I haven't got a clue about. Like
No,
I know nothing in a sense. So
just talking about tadpoles reorganization. A low
yeah,
level, a low level
yeah, yeah,
forgiveness
yeah,
in which we at least begin to see something.
yes. And like A
When we
Course in
see it,
Miracles,
yeah, when we see it within ourselves, then it's really
yeah,
powerful.
yeah, yeah. Like A Course in Miracles is what's possible, isn't it? We're
Yeah.
we're sort of aiming for that, but I can't say on that right now. You know, it's a level.
Well,
Um,
Course has a completely different purpose. This is
yeah,
telling you what's what. I'll
yeah.
give you
It's
an
like,
example, life of Jesus. Course in Miracles is direct Jesus telling you now, hey, let's skip the bullshit. I'm gonna give you guidance.
mm,
The Course in Miracles is received equally perfectly as your Urantia book. Absolutely. Because Helen, even if she tried to change anything, she would be corrected. There was no way she made any any mistakes.
well, she might not have, but other people did.
Yeah, Ken Wapnick had a good job though,
But that's
didn't
but
he?
that we could go into that and be here forever. We have an original. We have the Earth text. We have the original
Yeah,
writing of
yeah, that's true.
whatever
That's true.
what was dictated, and if you can look at the politics, you'll be stuck in it as long as you see those narcissists out there.
Oh, fuck you, Cole.
And you know what was beautiful? Because I was listening to the Course in Miracle, the very first thing, and then he says, and it really struck me the way Jesus said is like, if you follow my guidance, he doesn't say follow Vopnik or follow Renard, right? He says
That's
follow
true.
the teachers of God. He says follow my guidance. And my guidance is in this book. Yeah. And if we didn't take that guidance and try to place on it what we think it means, which
Mm,
is the interpretation, yeah, those sentences, each sentence just like this, it brings you to this inner transformation. It helps you to forgive. Actually, it's like a quantum forgiveness, this whole,
mm,
like it really shows you the miracle mindedness where when old stuff is undone, there is an absolutely a revelation that's
mm.
of unspeakable love that's even hard to, it can't be described, it can be anything except you like know. Yeah, because it is, somewhere it's like you're the part of the sonship. And
I do feel like I need to say something here though,
go.
Joel.
Yeah, please.
Like I know that like yeah, we have the text and that was the unchanged version,
Uh-huh.
but the FIP version was changed. The lessons essentially weren't,
Mm.
thank God.
Yeah.
They essentially weren't changed, and
Yeah.
that's probably like that's saving grace. But some of the other stuff was changed a lot. And I just need to say that, like, and
No, no.
it has confused people.
Ah, totally, totally. We have
So
massive.
that's all. I just
Yes,
needed to
yes,
say
yes.
that. So it's
True.
not to be. I just don't want it to be sidelined as if that doesn't have importance. I feel like it does have importance.
Yes, it does, and everything about what I'm trying to say is that in a way, there is an urtext, and we know there is these
Yeah,
words have not been altered by anyone. They've been received equally well as these papers were.
this is
Now,
true. Not
now,
everyone
what's
knows about the text, but I do know from my own
mhm,
experience that when I've made a true asking, I've
mhm,
received. And
bingo.
so if
Yes,
anyone makes a true asking, they're going to receive what they need.
yeah,
So
exactly. And so the Course in Miracles, he gives you more like the mechanisms of real forgiveness.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
It,
And
yeah, this is like
it is the psychology of your, it's the psyche thing. It like goes into the core of the thing. So this is more like, hey, this is what it's all about. Whereas Course in Miracles is how to get there.
yeah, I understand that, but like it still has to match up on some level, or there's something a bit wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it doesn't sort of, work together,
yeah, yeah.
you know, to
But
me
Course in
that
Miracles,
means
yeah,
earth.
Course in Miracle, when it's a pure revelation. It's a
yeah.
mechanism where Jesus directly into your ear tells you exactly what to do. Yeah,
Yeah, and I for myself, getting beyond my need to interpret everything was the
yeah.
biggest task.
Biggest, 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 biggest
And
one.
I can see that in other people too. Like, it's just if I could just get beyond the convolutions of my mind and stay
Mhm.
with the simplicity of what he said, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Hmm. That's it.
And I guess I still don't like being told what to do. No one's going to tell me, even Jesus. Piss off.
Sounds like that's of the old pattern there, Kim.
It's a narcissist.
I'm not doing the will of the Father.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's beautiful to reveal that. Then we have all these opposite forces and heavy judgments and doubts. But it's all beautiful. I find
Yeah,
it,
because we've got to somehow overcome them, don't we,
it's a
to
beautiful,
evolve. Yeah.
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 So shall we dive into paper 12?
Yes,
Why not?
please.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Oh, the universe of universes.
If I can handle any more, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'll just have to reread it during the week.
Oh,
Or the previous stuff.
Yeah.
That was so good, huh?
It's like, you do get a little bit more every time you read it. You just sort of receive a little bit more. Something has had a chance
mm,
to process and
Oh. But same as you can have Course in Miracles memorized, you can have it memorized. You can have this memorized and know every single word and everything where it fits. Yeah. And you still
mm,
might not have a religious experience in
yeah,
direct revelation where bypasses all these words,
yeah.
where it takes you into the realms that will make all of this look like really just a tadpole pond, like a real thick reality.
yeah.
Let's read before I say another silly thing.
So
Right,
would
who's
someone
going to
else
read?
like to read?
Yeah, Alison is gonna read.
Okay.
Right. So Father's will.
The Universe of Universes, paper 12. The immensity of the far-flung creation of the Universal Father is utterly beyond the grasp of finite imagination.
Mhm.
The enormousness of the Master Universe staggers the concept of even my order of being.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah. But the
Who is that?
mortal mind can be taught much about the plan and arrangement of the universes. That's what's going on about the plan and arrangement of the universes. You can know something of their physical organization and marvelous administration. You may learn much about the various groups of intelligent beings who inhabit the seven super universes of time and the central universe of eternity.
Wow.
I still have a bit of trouble with the fact it's a physical place.
Well,
Okay. In principle, that is, in eternal potential, we conceive of material creation as being infinite because the Universal Father is actually infinite. But as we study and observe the total material creation,
mm,
we know that at any given moment in time, it is limited, although to your finite minds, it is comparatively limitless, virtually boundless. We are convinced from the study of physical law and from the observation of the starry realms that the infinite creator is not yet manifest in finality of cosmic expression.
wow.
That much of the cosmic potential of the infinite is still self contained and unrevealed.
Mm,
Wow. To created beings, the master universe might appear to be almost infinite.
but it's far from finished.
Eh?
But it's far from finished.
Yeah, but it is far from finished. There are still physical limits to the material creation and the experiential revelation, the experiential revelation of the eternal purpose is still in progress.
Mm,
Wow. Well, and a material universe would always be finite, like would always
mm.
it always has limitation.
Yeah.
Shall I carry on?
Absolutely.
One.
If you can manage, then we can.
Okay. Space levels of the master universe. The universe of universes is not an infinite plane, a boundless cube, nor a limitless circle. It certainly has dimensions. The laws of physical organization and administration prove conclusively that the whole vast aggregation of force energy and matter power functions ultimately as a space unit, as an organized and coordinated whole. The observable behavior of the material creation constitutes evidence of a physical universe of definite limits. The final proof of both a circular and delimited universe is afforded by the, to us, well-known fact that all forms of basic energy ever swing around the curved path of the space levels of the master universe in obedience to the incessant and absolute pull of paradise gravity. The successive space levels of the master universe constitute. Can someone else read? Do you want to read, Cole or Kevin?
I can read in a second. I just need to quickly send a message. Kev, you want to read a bit?
Yeah, what are we up to? I've lost my spot.
The second paragraph.
The second paragraph.
Successive space levels, that one.
Yep.
Yes.
The successive space levels of the master universe constitute the major divisions of pervaded space, total creation, organized and partially inhabited, or yet to be organized and inhabited. If the master universe were not a series of elliptical space levels of lessened resistance to motion, alternating with zones of relative quiescence, we can see that some of the cosmic energies would be observed to shoot off on an infinite range, off on a straight line path into trackless space, but we never find force, energy, or matter thus behaving. Ever they whirl, always swinging out onward in the tracks of the great space circuits. Proceeding outward from paradise through the horizontal extension of pervaded space, the master universe is existent in 6 concentric ellipses, the space levels encircling the central aisle. 1. The central universe, Havona. 2. The 7 superuniverses. 3. The first outer space level. 4. The second outer space level. 5. The third outer space level. 6. The fourth and outermost space level. Havona, the central universe, is not a time creation. It is an eternal existence.
Eternal existence.
Mm.
Mm.
This never beginning, never ending universe consists of 1 billion spheres of sublime perfection. So that already sounds like it's ending. It's only 1 billion. It stops.
Well, that's just the beginning.
And
But
it's
even that, I think is just reduced to the perception of the mental, so we can just even entertain an idea that it's like that. But I think,
They have to come down to the lowly human level to be able to describe it to us in such a way.
or to help dislodge the limited perspective and impregnate us with Holy Spirit strong enough to ignite within us a mirror image of something that's maybe reduced to 1 billion or something.
I'll do that sentence again. The never beginning, never ending universe consists of 1 billion spheres of sublime perfection and is surrounded by the enormous dark gravity bodies.
Mm.
At the center of Havona is the stationary and absolutely stabilized Isle of Paradise, surrounded by its 21 satellites. Owing to the enormous encircling masses of the dark gravity bodies about the fringe of the central universe, the mass content of this central creation is far in excess of the total known mass of all 7 sectors of the grand universe.
Wow. Wow.
The paradise Havona system, the eternal universe encircling the eternal isle, constitutes the perfect and eternal nucleus of the master universe. All 7 of the superuniverses and all regions of outer space revolve in established orbits around the gigantic central aggregation of the Paradise satellites and the Havona spheres. The 7 superuniverses are not primary physical organisations. Nowhere do their boundaries divide a nebula family. Neither do they cross a local universe, a prime creative unit. Each superuniverse is simply a geographic space clustering of approximately 1/7 of the organised and partially inhabited post-Havona creation, and each is about equal in the number of local universes embraced and in the space encompassed. Levadon, your local universe, is one of the newer creations in Orvonton, the 7th superuniverse. The grand universe is the present organised and inhabited creation. It consists of the 7 superuniverses with an aggregate evolutionary potential of around 7 trillion inhabited planets.
Wow.
Now we're getting somewhere. Not to mention the eternal spheres of the central creation.
No.
But this tentative estimate takes no account of the architectural administrative spheres, neither does it include the outlying groups of unorganised universes. Jesus. The present ragged edge of the grand universe its uneven and unfinished periphery, together with the tremendously unsettled condition of the whole astronomical plot, suggests to our star students that even the 7 super universes are as yet uncompleted. As we move from within, from the divine centre outward in any one direction, we do eventually come to the outer limits of the organised and inhabited creation. We come to the outer limits of the grand universe, and it is near this outer border, in a far-off corner of such a magnificent creation, that your local universe has its eventful existence.
Eventful, for sure.
I wonder if that TV show, The Outer Limits, got its name from this book.
Well, that's what I was thinking when I read it. I
Yeah.
If what? Sorry, Kim?
There was a TV show back in the 60s, I
Oh,
think, was it? Called The
oh,
Outer Limits. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking similar thing. I was thinking, yeah, this book sounds like The Outer Limits to me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it for me, Cole. Take over.
That was really well done, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very enlightening.
Oh, oh.
Yeah, the next paragraph's too long for me.
Yeah, we'll leave that for next week.
Yeah, I think I've had enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough when we read the first paragraph. Like, okay, I think I need to allow this sink in.
Oh,
It's I always feel like there's so much of it and I want to read all of it and but there is only so much that can be taken in at once.
That's it.
mm,
But
Yeah,
I'm starting to enjoy more and more reading it on my own. I can't always, but yeah.
yes.
mm.
Yeah, yesterday I opened here and I just read 2 sentences and I'm going like, oh God, I'm like so done right now. It
Yeah.
was
I
like
felt
in
it.
my own space, 2 sentences can be completely um, enough. The way they sink in. So we were reading the inner space levels.
Oh,
Uh, so we finished on 12.114, right?
Yeah, up to 12. Yeah,
the sentence, the outer space levels is at the beginning of that next paragraph.
Yeah, sounds good. Wonderful, guys.
Mm.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna go back to bed.
Oh, wish I could.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
you say, Kim, that you were guided to go back to bed.
yeah.
Bring
My
up with
body,
that.
The guidance told me. My guides told me. I love that.
yeah. Ah. Ah, yeah.
Wonderful, darlings. What a delight.
Right.
Well, good luck with the baby, Kim.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
thanks, Paul. I'll see him
Congratulations.
soon.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ah,
good luck with your ex, is more important, I reckon. Jeez.
oh, I feel like so detached. Like
Yeah.
even if I see him, like, oh, this is like observing this
Whole
pattern.
pattern.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
but he might not show up. Like I might never see him again. Who knows?
Mhm.
You know, he might be gone for good.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be interesting what unfolds from now because I just feel like it's so something so different has happened. Yeah. Mm, yeah. And yeah. And the non-judgment, yeah, that's important. Mm. Or just notice my judgments.
Yeah. Beautiful, darlings.
All right, we all done?
Yeah, we're pretty done. I'm done.
Mm.
Okay, I shall see you all.
Thank
You have
you,
a lovely
everyone.
day
Oh,
All right, sweetheart.
till Tuesday. Yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.